So officially, the Snyder Cut of Justice League has been announced for HBO Max in 2021, and they are putting up $20 million to finish the film. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why that's a good thing and why it's a bad thing. And it's not bad because of what you think. Just follow me here for this one. It's like this. They shouldn't have ever faltered on Zack Snyder's vision. And this is not me as a snack. I'm about to say snack. A Zack Snyder fanboy. This is just, you know what? Finish out the man's vision and then go off into new directions. That's what you should have done. But this is my problem. And it's not the Snyder Cut. I actually want to see this. I was not a fan of that Frankenstein patch job that they did with the theatrical cut, using Joss Whedon and having two different tones and all this other things. And you can see the visual differences and Henry Cavill's CGI face. And I was not a fan of it. Okay? You should have just let this man, let it just marinate. Okay, if you want to take Superman in a more positive direction, Justice League could have done that. This whole movie could have been him on that arc to becoming that Boy Scout we all knew, right? But no, this is my problem with WB. WB, when it comes to DC, buckles under the pressure. The moment people start complaining about something and complaining about something and complaining about something like people on the internet naturally do, guess what? They go back to the drawing board immediately. They don't see anything out. You think for 1 second MCU Marvel didn't have these same type of complaints across the board on the internet? You're damn right they did. Everything down from Robert Downey Jr.'s casting, because this is him coming back. This was his comeback film. And you know the whole story of them not wanting to take a chance on him because of his substance abuse issues that he formerly had, right? But guess what? Everything, even from Captain America not being such a box office giant, from the Incredible Hulk being not such a box office giant, they stayed the course. They made minor changes and adaptations. They didn't just go back and just yank something completely out and do things and try to go in different tone directions because of things people said on the internet. Okay, now there's some things that should be changed, but that should have been gradually. It should have been worked in. It could have been written in. Like, for example, like I said earlier, Superman's his change of heart, like basically, well, the actual acquisition of a heart, that is, from what Zack Snyder pushed him to be. You could have gradually went into that and went with new directors. You could have wrote something into the Justice League and just be like, all right, Superman has a moment of clarity. He sees things differently and he realizes that, you know, he loves to be that person to help people. He know everybody's not going to see eye to eye with him. You know, not that dark, moody, like I'm burdened. And why people look up, you know, the shit that they was doing in BVS, they continued on doing. When he saved people, people looked at him as a savior, and he looked troubled because of what they were saying about him in the goddamn media. Like, really, did we really need to see all that shit? There's a lot. It was too much real world element in a superhero franchise. You know, too much trying to make a character badass and unlike how he was in the comic book because you had this certain tone. You know, they lightened that up slightly with Aquaman. They you know, but then we got a movie like Shazam, the one that a lot of the DC fanboys don't want to talk about because it flopped and they weren't into it. You know, even though initially I see it like this, it was Big meets superhero. You remember Tom Hanks' movie Big? It was pretty much like that with a superhero overtone to it. It was some things that didn't make sense in it from a logic standpoint. A lot of things that didn't make sense with it, but it wasn't a complete wash. But there's things that they can improve upon. But I'm getting way too off topic here. It's crazy. Like, they even telling us that Ben Affleck is actually getting into Batman shape again to finish the film. Now, how is this going to affect the Batman? You know, Matt Reeves, the Batman. Okay? Now that even Ben Affleck is coming back to finish. Everybody's coming back. Everybody is coming back to finish this. Like, this is my problem with WB. This is really my problem with WB. You had star power, and you don't know how to see it through. I bet they the reason why Affleck quit the Batman movie that he was working on. You know? This is all they care about, WB, with that money. What's his movie that they let him, the movie he had, the gangster movie, Something Tonight, the one that he wrote and directed, I believe. It didn't do too well, and they kind of soured on him. You know, that's something that's not a superhero movie, okay? I'm going to bring up Martin Scorsese again. None of his movies are box office juggernauts, but they are critical darlings, much to his dismay. You know, this is why he hates superhero movies as is, because they make money, even though he feel like he makes quality cinema that I've heard a few fanboys I used to be subscribed to say all the time. I can go on and on about that, but back on subject here. It's pretty much like this. It's like this. Better late than never when it comes to the Snyder Cut. Like, better late than never. And to the fans who will this and will not let it die, thank you. Like, seriously, thank you. Me, I was indifferent about it. Like, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I kept hearing it might happen, it won't happen. I'm not like, oh my God, I really wanted to see it, you know. But the circumstances that Zack Snyder was fired over were some fucked up circumstances. His daughter, for God's sake, committed suicide. This man needed to go and be a family man, like Gal said. That's more important. And you tell me you use that to fire him. That's bullshit. They knew they were wrong for that, and the fans will not let them forget that. It's like the whole situation with Becky Lynch. You were supposed to turn her fucking heel against Charlotte after jerking her out of the title. And guess what? The fans will not let Becky turn heel. It's the same shit. This is just exactly what happened. The fans wanted to see Zack Snyder's vision. They followed it this long. If it was going to go someplace else from after Justice League 1 and 2, let it be. It could have done that, but let this man finish his vision. Now, this is, I think, the most a lot of the fans ask for help. Me, as somebody who's not a big Zack Snyder fan, I think he would have did Batman just fine. But anyway, this was like, just let the man finish his vision. Now, this is, I think most of the fans will want that. We got people like the Gob who are like DC Zack Snyder fanboys and stuff. You know, I'm gonna touch on this before I finish this video out. I did this video because I like superhero shit, okay? But I gotta say, DC fanboys have got to be some of the worst fucking fanboys on the internet today, next to Star Wars fanboys, you know? I can't, I'm not, you know, I was gonna bring up Game of Thrones, but this series is canceled, basically. Well, it ended, I'm sorry. And I don't know what all the spin-offs are gonna do, who cares at this point. But as the two active fan bases out there, 2 of the 3 active fan bases, Star Wars and DC, got some of the worst fans out there, you know? You actually tell me you go to pay money, or you waste your time bootlegging a MCU film just to shit on it. Some of y'all ain't even shit on it, watch it. Y'all just like it's the worst thing ever, alright? And the fact that I actually talk about the MCU. Some DC fanboy will say, see, you a Marvel fanboy. You see the dumb shit right here? This is why a lot of the battles on YouTube are won, because only you got a bunch of people who like the dog pile on you. They don't have a mind of their own. They are a, how do you call it? Hive mind. I always bring up the word hive mind. I don't do that shit. I don't like that shit. If I'm telling you something and I'm bringing my opinion to the table and I'm bringing it with logic and facts and stuff that you are editing out of your brain because you want to be right all the time, you are not a good content creator. But I digress. You just gotta follow me. Cause I'm a Fury. I'm out. Peace.